enable coaches, course creators, and service providers to attract and engage and sell to their ideal audience the stories. You're a business storyteller, man, and you're an expert at that. Tell us kind of the transformation going from what it was to where you're at now to where you're going, man.
Oh, great. So I'll try not to go too far back, but I will just give you some bits. So I started at the bottom in the film industry, and the reality is when I was 18, I hadn't a clue what I wanted to do. And I got an extras job. And when I was on that job, the first day we got fed and they said at lunchtime, right, you can go home now. You know, I was like, oh, this is a great job. Got paid and didn't do anything. So I came back the next day and suddenly I saw these massive trucks and all this gear started coming out. And I was like, what is that? Now, for you listeners, I just want to put context for you. This is pre-digital. You know, I look young, but, you know, I've been around a little while. And it really opened my eyes to a world I didn't really know exists, because as far as I was concerned, there was 4 or 5 channels on TV. And they started taking all this gear out. And I was just like, I want to do that. And I kind of probably think, you know, someone's asked me why. And I think maybe because, you know, we watch the TV, we watch films, but I really never saw anyone like myself. So I think it was just like, you know what? I have things that I feel I'd like to say. And yeah, this is the way to do it. So that started my journey of kind of choosing to work in the film industry. So I spent 6 months pounding the concrete, looking for my first gig, knocking on doors, putting CVs in, and it was very hard work, but I eventually got my first opportunity. And that was in post-production. So we have, you know, the production and post-production side. And I hated it. You know, people who run post-production companies are city men. They're in it for the money. And I really didn't like it. And I was just like, no. And I was like, actually, I want to do production. So I started working in production. And that's when you went on set and working on set. You know? And I started at the bottom as a runner. In the States, they call gophers, then rigger, props, camera assistant. And I decided that, you know what? I want to know more. I want to study film. And this was pre-digital. So I went and I got into film school, you know, small class, and I actually learned the mechanics of how to make films and short films, everything from pre-production to production, to understanding the gear, to post-production. And, you know, I'm probably the last generation to actually work on film and edit film. And then you're put out into the big wide world. And they didn't teach you how to get work, how to position yourself for clients. So there you are, knowing your medium so well. You've just been so involved in it, but no one's really taught you, how do I present myself? How do I get my next gig? And I think that's something that faces a lot of people, especially people in the creative industries, who aren't really taught that side of things. So I've been through many iterations of the challenges of, you know, starting a business, getting clients, being very small and then growing. And then, do you want me to continue, Christian?
Yes, because see, what's so incredible is just like you said, marketing and sales, right? Marketing and really selling yourself on the reason why they should reach out to you. So I think that's really awesome. Continue, please, because this is so
Yeah.
amazing.
So then I said, right, I've got to start my own company. So there we are, started our little company. And at the time, technology was changing. So I invested some money in getting some camera gear. And put it into context, camera gear that went from costing $35,000 in dollars, $50,000, all the way to maybe costing $7,000. So suddenly a minion like me has a little window in. And then we were making some lifestyle programs, working with music-based stuff. And that was kind of my journey, doing that, freelancing, teaching, training. And then I'm going to do a big jump all the way to 2000 now. And in 2000, I told you, I'm still a baby, everyone. I'm only just 30. Anyway, in 2000, I had a crazy idea. And this idea was, wouldn't it be great if people like myself, independent creators, could build an audience and earn a bit of money? Now, that sounds absolutely crazy. This was pre-YouTube. YouTube did not exist. But I just had that in my head and I thought, no, don't be so stupid. How's that going to happen? But it was just there in the back of my mind, just whittling away. And every year I'd go back to that idea and go, Dennis, no, that's so silly. And suddenly we came to 2005 and things were starting to change. That's when YouTube was around. And I thought, maybe I've got something here. So from 2005 to 2008-9, I put all my energy and resources into creating an online platform for independent short filmmakers where they could sell their short films that people could watch on mobile phones. Yes, this was pre-smartphones, everyone. Mobile phones. And this crazy idea, I managed to get some funding from the government for an innovative idea. And I had filmmakers all over the world posting me their films. You name a country, they were posting it to me. This was pre-internet digital where you could just send a file. It had to be done by a snail mail, on tape. I then had to convert it digitally. Then I had to create it into each film into 7 or 8 different formats so it worked on all the mobile phones. This was pre-iPhone, everyone. And while that was happening, people in the independent film space, the short films, they started paying attention because the focus was about building an audience so people can see what you do and earning a living from what you do. So I was getting invited to talk at Cannes film festivals for short films, loads of panel discussions, because it's really about creation, audience building, and monetization. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the details, everyone, but the business didn't work. It didn't work. And why didn't it work? Well, a couple of reasons. I take full responsibility. Firstly, I was a bit too kumbaya creative. I don't want to do ads. Who wants to see ads? No, this is a very clean place. We don't have ads. And secondly, we had the global recession in 2008. And suddenly this wasn't that important. I'd also invested all my resources with developers who didn't quite do it right, and I didn't have the resources to fix it. So that was really painful. You know, it's really painful when you put your heart and soul, everything into something, and it doesn't quite work how you hope it would. And for a while, I was just a bit low. I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? Put all my energy in. However, that's the foundation from where I am today. All of these are important lessons that are part of your journey. I still have people nowadays who remember what my business is called then. And they said, oh, you're the man from Zizzle. Because it was actually groundbreaking. Some people used to call it purple cow. But when things don't work out, you don't feel that, do you? You just feel dejected. You think, I wasted my time. Oh God, I failed. But you know what? These are the things that sometimes form that rock which can turn into crystal, which propels you forward. So I'm going to do shall I continue, Christian?
Yes, please, please. This is awesome.
So I'm going to jump forward to today. Well, a bit back of today. So about... by the way, everyone, I'm jumping things out. I'm missing things out. So I'm just trying to give you the juicy parts related to the storytelling part. So maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I was creating a program, and because I was there, yep, I can do things online. I've got some skills that I've kind of had early and I can utilize them. By the way, I also still teach BA and MA film students. So I'm actually involved in training the next generation of creatives. And I was creating this program and I was just like, you know, sometimes there's days where you just don't feel 100%. And this particular day, I wasn't feeling 100%. I was like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to have a bath. And when we're like that, sometimes the truth comes out to ourselves. And I just went to myself, what am I doing? By the way, I'd spent a lot of time doing this, you know, a year maybe. What am I doing? This isn't you. Why wasn't it me? because I was looking too much at what other people were doing. Oh, I need a thing that does Facebook ads, but I don't do Facebook ads. Don't even like them. Oh, I need to do this. And what we have to be careful of is, yes, it's great to look at what other people are doing and learn from them. But we need to be careful that we don't go over the line and start thinking that we have to copy them because we don't have value in our own right. And I kind of crossed that line. And fortunately, I didn't feel well and I had clarity. So imagine 12 months work and I just went, I don't want to do it anymore. And then after a week or so, I thought, let me have a look what I've done. I'm sure I've done some good things here. And I had a look, and 65% of it was around storytelling. So why have I weaved this story to you? Just showing you that where I started and where I ended up, there was a thread going all the way through. Sometimes we can't see the thread, but there is a thread. So that opened up into where I am today in the journey. I'm going to let you speak, Chris.